I won Miss India, which I wasn't expecting. And now comes the big onus of representing your country, where at Miss Universe, where India has never won before. So you already have people saying, "Arey, the best of the best have gone there and not got it. Where will this girl go? You know, this lanky, tall girl and all of that." And then this lean, tall woman with no dancing moves, and they're used to much shorter actresses who look lovely doing thumkas that does not look good on you. And then discovering a group of talented choreographers who said, forget all that, you do you. Because I'm someone who says, koi baroda nahi, aaj ye problem hai, kal sudhar jayega. But when someone tells you you are now steroid dependent for life and it has side effects like this, and you're done, your career is done, the way you've known your life to be is done because you cannot be out in public for very long. You don't have stress management systems. The more stress you'll take, the more steroids you'll have to take to accommodate for it. This shook me up. This little monkey, she gives me my beta lock sharp at 9 every day. Without fail, has set alarms, and I don't miss my medicines thanks to her. Motherhood, as in a nurturer, is not a gender.
When I was growing up in Calcutta, there was somebody I adored and admired, idolized to the extent that I always wanted to be like her. Of course, you can't be like her because she's amazing, but I hope that by the end of the time that I am here in this world, somebody looks up to me and says that, okay, you are 10% of her. Welcoming Sushmita Sen in conversation with me only on Bollywood Bubble. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, my Jan. You're one of my most favorite people.
Yeah,
I love you. So the fact that I'm getting to do this interview with you in the presence of your mother is a huge thing for me.
Listen, I've already told everybody that I might get emotional during this interview because it's like living a dream. Everybody keeps asking me who are the two people that you want to interview, and I always say two names. One is yours and one is Rekha ma'am. And I'm so happy. I was announcing it to the world that this has to happen, and it's finally happening.
So did the interview with Rekha ma'am
happen?
No. Not yet. Not yet.
But there are some dreams that you have to wait for. It's okay, I'll wait for it. Yeah. I want to ask you that, you know, when I watched Taali, the first thing that connected with me is that in every phase of life where there is a turning point in Shree Gauri Sawant's life, you beautifully portray through a mirror reflection.
Aha! All credits to Ravi sir for that one.
That's true. And it's so poetic in a way when people look at it from the beginning to the end. It's all in the mirror.
What an observation. I'm so proud of you that you noticed that. Because the thing is, beautifully asked, and I'd like to highlight that. Taali was never about playing up to people's awareness of Gauri Sawant's life, which is available on YouTube. Why would you want to see a film?
That's true.
Or a web series on it. It was about these moments. Now, her life is very expansive. You'd go nuts trying to fit everything in, and not all of it is relevant to who she is today and what she's accomplished. So we handpicked and said, how do you incorporate the important moments, allowing people to not get into an already deeply embedded sense of gender bias, and just to watch it as a human being and to feel for this person and forget after a point that, oh, this is a trans woman. And that's her story. You know, that's not what this was about. So that mirror and the reflection was about transformations taking place where better than in front of a mirror where you see your own astitva, you see who you are. But hats off to you, my love, for noticing it, because these are things that I haven't really heard too many people talk about. But big shout out, guys. I mean, on social media, I have been bombarded with a lot of love and appreciation for Taali. The fact that you guys watched it and accepted it, even for a moment, on a mass level, our job is done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, another beautiful thing that your character actually says is that my life is divided into 3 episodes. Identity, survival, and equality. My interview is also going to be divided into those many segments.
Okay.
Because I think that as Sushmita Sen, there was a very weird sense of connect that I could see as a person who's idolized you, and as a person who has actually seen Gauri Sawant's journey as well, because I have known her, I have read up about her, and you know, first we'll start with identity. Personally, the movie connected a lot with me because when you speak about gender bias, unfortunately, we live in a society where if you're a little bit, जब आप बोलते हो कि मैं अलग हूँ इसीलिए तो आप मुझे देखोगे, but society ऐसी है जहाँ पे अगर आप थोड़ा सा भी अलग करते हो, so people have judgments.
Absolutely.
You've also done so many things different from the social norms and getting judged for it.
Yes.
Did you know, you are such a strong woman, but even strong women have vulnerabilities. How do you deal with that?
Oh boy, it's a very intense question. Nayandeep, very, very well done. It's a very deep question, actually. It's hard in the beginning when you're very young, because I came into the public platform at 18. So I had barely discovered who I was. And then I was, you know, kind of put in front of people who were judging me for every little thing that was taking place. I'm very grateful to God that the idea that she's Miss Universe, first Miss Universe from India. She has to talk like this, she has to walk like this, she has to do this, she has to do that, is not something I fell into by God's grace. And I thank God for that. It was like, but this young girl who became Miss Universe became that because she's different. And now I let go of what makes me different and become one of many to fit in. I don't want to fit in. I want to be me. And who is that me? I'm still discovering. So, you know, so it was a little hard because I was so young. But life grooms you. And if you can hold on to your beliefs long enough, then rejection turns to acceptance. It's the one thing that I have seen in my life repeatedly. And even if it doesn't turn to acceptance, it's better you don't reject yourself in the hope of a outside acceptance, because that's when people, I think, lose their way. You have to stay true to who you are. Sometimes that'll be clap-worthy, sometimes it'll be gali, sometimes it'll be thali. But you have to hold on to that person. And I think that's what I've done, love. I've just tried to be very honest to that person. And so when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm proud of who I see.
Absolutely. Can I tell you something that when I hear things, I've heard whatever, like it's sad that in today's world, if I dance, I'm called a chamia. If I do something, and there will be random comments.
Does it bother you?
No. There are days when I'm bothered with something else in life, and then it might get to me. Then I try to calm myself down. I won't lie.
Now he's just defined his second half of the question.
Yeah.
That's the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Is actually the state of mind you're in at that moment.
Absolutely.
That things can affect you.
But you know, my mom has always taught me one thing. Whenever people call me like, tu larki hai, tu hijra hai, X, Y, Z, I read these comments. Initially, it used to bother me when I was very young. Of course, you're in your formative years and you don't want to be like labeled something, and then you're judged for sitting next to a girl in school, next to a boy in school. Everything is a problem. So initially, it used to bother me. My brother told me that the day you stop giving them reactions, they will not do the same thing because they are only looking for reactions. That is one. And my mother told me, which she's sitting here, wonderfully she told me that it's okay. The world thinks that your father and your brother are similar and you and I are similar. So if people are calling you a woman, it's good, you're like me. And I keep saying that to everybody. It's not my line, it's my mother's. But it's sad that the judgment that comes. And
you know, I think now I understand why we connect the way we do. I'll tell you. Is because I am very much in touch with my masculine side and you're in touch with your feminine side.
Absolutely.
Neither one is better, worse,
Absolutely.
amazing. It just makes you a complete person. You have to express yourself the way you are. And sometimes people are going to turn around and tell you, what a fantastic job, how much courage you have. The other times they will say, look what they're doing, look, None of it defines you. And the moment you recognize that, life is a celebration.
True.
And then the party begins. Because then people suddenly go, nahi yaar, how can a person be this consistent for so many years? I am so proud of you and Ma. Well done, Mama. That's a great example. As a mother, I'll tell you, because we're talking about your mom, there is no greater achievement that your children can find for you than to be true to who they are.
True.
And to turn out to be good human beings. And so if you are that, you've already achieved it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I feel that I've also learned it a lot from you, because I will come to that part later,
Okay.
because it's in episode
Okay.
when we talk about identity.
Okay.
When we talk about a movie like Taali, we have seen a lot of movies dealing with sexuality.
Yes.
And the target that happens, people get targeted for their sexuality.
Yeah.
But this is a movie that not just targets somebody because of their sexuality, but also because of masculinity or the lack of it,
Or the
according
lack
to
of it, yes.
the society. I feel that there are so many people who are from the LGBTQ plus community,
Yeah.
who are like, a man is manly but he is gay, or a girl is feminine and she is lesbian. They are often judged less than people like men who are effeminate and have a certain choice in life. Do you agree? There's a gender bias there.
I think
feel.
I agree only to the fact that it's relatively more or less.
Yeah.
Judgment itself is a problem. It does not matter
True.
if you are the gay community, the lesbian community, or if you're a trans community. The fact that you're judging someone on the basis of, now we accept that it's unfair to judge people on the color, religion, caste, geography. We accept all that suddenly. But we will not yet accept it on the basis of gender biases. And the reason for that simply is, it's easier to shut down your own truth and mock someone else's reality. It's just easier. Because you'll always find that to do that, there'll be a big crowd joining hands to make this noise. And that's what it is. Judgment, love, is noise. It's a lot of noise.
True.
It is not a response. It is not constructive. So all you can do, I truly believe this. This is how I live my life. I can't go and shut up everybody and change this noise into a response. But I can choose to respond, which means taking a lot of brickbat at times for who you are. But it's worth it, love, because at the end of the day, one person at a time, you're changing the way the world thinks.
That's true.
And from Taali's response, oh boy, from the transgender community to just binary, non-binary,
Absolutely.
all communities, it tells you the world is changing. The response that it has got, none of us were expecting it. We were just like, oh, there's going to be ample galis. Why is non-transgender doing this? We were expecting all of that. And we were still trying our level best to bring the story to people.
Yeah.
Not as the greatest work of art ever made, no. Just that it should touch you enough for you to start a conversation.
And be empathetic towards people.
And if you can do that, then you've achieved what you set out to do. And that's happening now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've always been that. Like, I always say, whenever people ask me, I would be like, you always have to be kind and empathetic, because I've seen my mom and I've seen you. I'm a Bengali. So it becomes all the more personal, because when I come to the personal side of it, you will understand how you've personally affected me. When you speak about identity, the first identity that came to you was when you were 16, 17. Were you even ready for it? Because you didn't even want to do it.
Yeah.
Were you even ready for the entire limelight on you?
No, that's the crazy thing. I discovered everything as I went along, and I just like, Thakur has a plan, God has a plan, and until I can, grab hold of what it is that I want, Let me walk his plan and do that diligently and do it well and see where life takes me. Given the strict father that I've had, stricter, like you be an IS officer, that's why the doctorate that I just received, I'm the most educated in the family now.
And education is very important in a Bengali family.
Very important. Like it is the thing. You can win Miss Universe, not win Miss Universe. Your film is a hit, not a hit. Okay, de-lit. You got a de-lit. That's it. Life is sorted. So this was big for my father. He's a very strict dad growing up. So all of this made me believe that I was going the academic way in life. Not that I wanted that also, but you know, at least something structurally my father wanted and I was following it. I was a good student. And then someone just sees you one day and says, you should enter Miss India, you know. And I joked it off and I came and laughed with my mother about it. She's like, "To matra ta kharab hoye naki?" Say, have you lost it? Go, apply. You know, and then that famous story happened. I won Miss India, which I wasn't expecting. And now comes the big onus of representing your country. Where? At Miss Universe, where India has never won before. So you already have people saying, "Arey, the best of the best have gone there and not got it. Where will this girl go? You know, this lanky, tall girl and all of that." And I'm thinking, once in a lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime. Do I want to be Miss Universe? No, no, no. But I want to go there wearing India and come back with something that no one's ever done before. I want to be India's first. And that was driving enough force where just mummy, daddy, me, my brother, at that point, my community. That is the people supporting me at that point. And then, of course, that support grew as I was there. And I have to thank all my life, the country of Philippines, for the amount of love and generosity they have showered upon me. I felt half Filipino while I was there. And when I won in the convention center, 40,000 people live, mostly Filipinos, all gave me a standing ovation. And now you have Filipino girls called Sushmita.
Can I tell you that I was in Philippines to interview Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, really?
And then there was somebody who
You went to Manila?
Yeah, Manila.
Okay.
And there was this person, lady who came to do our makeup in the room.
Yeah.
And then she started speaking about you. And I'm not lying. It's on camera. I might have that video. And they're like, you know, we know Sushmita Sen. And we were so fortunate that I got to do her. I think she did your makeup when you were in Philippines maybe a year or two ago.
Oh, as a judge?
Yeah, as a judge.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she's lovely.
Oh, she is.
And
she is.
You know, I know what you're talking about, but your identity was set out to be very different from any other beauty queens. You challenged beauty standards and you actually made people believe that the beauty is not what you see here, but what is here.
Oh, thank God for that.
And
otherwise, I would have never won. That's as simple as an example as you can get. I had my jaw hitting the floor looking at the 89 women there. They were stunning. So the definition of beauty, if it was limited to that, I didn't have a chance. But why did that happen? That happened because I was very, you speak of identity, the only identity I had was my core belief about who I am, not about grand things like what beauty is and how do you represent, nothing, just who I was. And I took it to that stage. And at no point, I mean, I remember the judges telling me later, we kept telling your management at the back, tell her to stop putting her hand on her face all the time. There's a live telecast going on. But I would just keep doing namaste and I would keep doing everything that I was told not to do because that is just how I felt. And that honesty, though, was disturbing for the telecast. My judges saw it and they finally said, I think that's the girl.
Yay!
Yes.
When we talk about survival now, after identity, the identity that you got, the love that you got, I think you continue getting love for the beauty that you stand for, which is a lot within.
Yeah.
And I have people walking up to me. I have worked with somebody who's my closest friend now. I'm going to name her Bhavna. There was a point of time that people told her that, you know, you shouldn't be in front of the camera because you have not done your hair and all. And I realized that I made her watch one of your videos, and we both love you.
Aw.
Because today she goes
Hi,
out and she
Bhavna.
doesn't, yeah, and she doesn't even care. Like she is what she is, and she is lovely.
Excellent.
And that's how people should be. But when you talk about survival, being a little different from the crowd initially can be called bagaवत. बहुत बाद वो सालों बाद उसी को लोग आजादी कहते हैं जैसे आज हो गया है. But when you did it, it was a revolution of its own. Already you were battling that you came from a beauty queen background. So that time magazines used to be very scathing towards people like that, and they would say कि इनको acting नहीं
Yeah,
आती.
that's a fact.
And how did you
Model
battle?
hai, acting nahi aati. That's a fact.
How did you battle all of that?
But they were right. I didn't know my job. I was still learning. And I was thrust into this movie industry without any, not even the distant cousin also was an actor. Like there was nobody from my family who came from the film industry and like distant also. So it was new to me, and like everything else, to survive, you go from job to job and you hope and pray that something somewhere works. Someone likes you for that or maybe that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I am lucky that I got Bhatt Saab to begin with, because he's a tough teacher, but also someone who does not allow you to fake it till you make it types. You know, so he brought out something, and so it was a good start for me. And then this lean, tall woman with no dancing moves, and they're used to much shorter actresses who look lovely doing thumkas that does not look good on you. And then discovering a group of talented choreographers who said, forget all that, you do you. Let's get you to do you. What looks good on you, let's try that. And that's where the songs came in. And maybe they didn't like my acting, but boy, they loved the song. Great start. From there, so, you know, if you do not allow people to tell you that you must arrive today at this time and make it, be the star today, you'll be fine. If you just keep learning, just keep making mistakes and keep learning and keep doing your job, there will come a time, no matter what your profession, that you will get damn good at it. And what will you get good at? The ability to learn. So मुझे नहीं आता है. उतना बोलने में ही confidence बढ़ जाती है life में.
That's true.
Most people just say, नहीं मुझे सब आता है, I can do this. नहीं आता है, मुझे नहीं आता है. But I will give it my everything to learn. Just give me a chance. I had that mindset when I was 21 years old as an actor. I have that mindset today at 47. You give me a job to do. Yes, I don't know how to do it, but I will put my life. There'll be no dearth of dedication to doing it. Rest, you have to leave some things to God, you know. But I will work hard for it.
But today with Arya, and you know, honestly speaking, I'm sitting here, but Taali is by far the most poignant performance that I've seen, because it is so restrained, it is so subtle. But like I said, it's the reflections, it's the hand movement, it's the eyes when you look in the mirror.
Yeah,
and
this
when you
eyes
think about
in Taali, I have met a new person. I really have not met this person before. And I have looked at myself ample times in the mirror. Part of my professional has art. But there is something about Taali that my eyes have spoken. Like, at times it's so silly, you know, to watch yourself and you're crying and I'm crying. Like I'm watching myself and crying, because I can kind of sense the pain in the eyes that I'm used to.
I've screamed, shouted, I'm like, yeah! And mom is sitting next to me and I'm like, because it's a victory. It's a victory for everybody who believes in acceptance, which I'm going to come in the next part. But when we talk about survival,
yeah,
you are God's favorite child.
Yes,
and
yes.
Thank God for that.
Yes.
Because many years ago, you did an interview where you spoke about battling Addison's and then coming out of it.
Yes.
It was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
How difficult was it for you and your family that time in terms of survival?
Very tough. That phase of my life was the one that shook me up considerably, because I'm someone who says, "Koi baroda nahi, aaj ye problem hai, kal sudhar jayega." But when someone tells you you are now steroid dependent for life and it has side effects like this, and you're done. Your career is done. The way you've known your life to be is done, because you cannot be out in public for very long. You don't have stress management systems. The more stress you'll take, the more steroids you'll have to take to accommodate for it. This shook me up, because I was like, you give me any amounts of problem, God, I'll take it. But nothing so permanent that I feel decapacitated. So my spirit was broken for a bit. And then Instagram happened. I have to tell you, it's the spookiest story. I mean, just off the cuff, a friend said, get on it. So I just got on it. And I realized that people started infusing stories back at me, saying, this happened back then, this is what I was doing, and you said this, and this is how it impacted my life. And I'm sitting there slowly reviving this broken spirit and fixing it and saying, there are these millions of people who are so excited by something I did or said or became in life. And I don't believe in me. How is that even possible? Unacceptable. Koi nahi. We'll take steroids and fix it. And that's how it started. And then I started the process. Then once the will is there, things change, Nayandeep. I went to Germany, I went to England, I went to every detox place in the world that I could go to heal. Because I was like, I have to find a solution. And boy, when it kicked in, it was life affirming.
Absolutely. But when your heart attack news came,
yeah,
I was talking to Renee, and
yeah, that's a problem. This whole household loves him. Everyone, Renee, Alisah, me, we all love you.
Thank you, guys. But it's very personal, because I've seen my father have heart attacks quite often.
Heart attacks?
3 heart attacks he's had. And there was a point of time when on a Saturday he went. He came back on a Tuesday, and on a Thursday he went again, and his pulse had gone down to 29. So I, as a child, have battled, and I still battle, anxiety related to my parents' health, especially during COVID and everything. And I have a fear of losing them. And I think that your kids have that too. And as a representative of your kids also, I want to tell you that you need to take care of yourself, because I do that to my mom and I do that to my father.
I love him.
I am the strictest with my dad when he's been the coolest father, never scolded me for one day, and I scold him every other day. I feel so bad.
How is his health now?
His health is fine. He stopped
So Baba, if you're listening, I want you to know that our hearts have been fine-tuned. And now we have younger and more stronger hearts than most people. They should be worried. We are fine.
But have your kids, did you have because your kids have grown up now, they understand it.
Yes.
Did they come to you and set some regulations for you?
No.
They should.
She's like, what? No, but what they have done, especially Alisah, because my elder one is now a big girl. She's got her own responsibilities and she's independent now. But this little monkey, she gives me my beta lock sharp at 9 every day, without fail, has set alarms, and I don't miss my medicines thanks to her. She's a very nurturing soul. I don't think they kind of are like, my mother tells me all the time what is good for me and all of that, so she must know what's good for her, so she just has to follow it. No, but you're right. It's lovely to have children who hold on for dear life to make sure. But I don't think they have a fear of losing me. That they don't have.
They shouldn't. No, even I don't have it right now, because
yeah,
they
good.
listen to
Please
me.
Don't. That fear also compels a lot of things. Yeah. So no fear, no fear.
Finally, when we talk about equality,
yes,
I think you stood
big
up.
One. This is my favorite one.
Yes, because you stood up for equal rights for everybody, regardless of anything. Now I'm gonna tell you how you impacted my life, because I was all of 10, and my mother is sitting here, so nobody can say I'm lying. Ask my mother. I was all of 10 when I looked at you and I said, one day, because my heart breaks looking at kids at the signal. Yes. I'll be very honest.
Yes.
So one day I told my mother that I will adopt.
Oh.
And today we have reached a point where my mother says, when are you going to put that paper for adoption?
Beautiful.
So it's changed, but it's also very difficult. Not many people know that it's even more difficult for a single father.
I know that.
What compelled you at that point? Like, it was something like Gauri Sawant in an interview, she said it beautifully that motherhood is a behavior.
Yeah, it is.
It's a behavior to love and to care for and nurture for somebody, which you
Yes.
always had.
Yes, and another statement of hers that I deeply connect with, because if you've met Gauri and spent time with her, she's a natural born nurturer. So it is just in her. That's why motherhood, as in a nurturer, is not a gender. Ma, as we know it, is, we all know a mother to be the mother, of course. But the attributes of a nurturer, that comes with no gender. If you can nurture, you're a ma. You know, you have that in you. So when she says that, there's great truth in that. Equality is a big one for me. Inclusiveness,
Yeah.
big one for me. If someone was to ever tell me, I would offer you millions and give you the life of your dreams, to make a statement that's against that belief, in action, in statement, in a way, I would rather live a pauper my whole life. That's how strongly I believe in everyone's right to life and to live it with dignity. Biases don't work for me. So people who have biases, they are not my tribe. It's that simple. And God, thank God, love. While doing Taali, I've discovered that my tribe is actually huge.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people out there who have a very heightened sense of acceptance, who celebrate inclusiveness. That's a better world already.
On that note, I'm going to tell you that you have been a face of acceptance in the country and in the world for many people, a lot. You've been the voice to a lot of voiceless people. And I'm pretty sure that, like me, there'll be millions who have seen you, heard you, met you, and got touched. You wouldn't even know how you have touched a billion lives out there. And that's the beauty of being Sushmita Sen. And I just feel that this will always be my most favorite conversation till date, till we do another one.
That was due, yes.
But thank you for being you. Thank you for
being you, man. Thank you for being you. This conversation feels like I was sitting with a kindred spirit. Someone who is so my tribe and my vibe.
Yay!
Thank you for being who you are. Really.
Thank you for giving the power to others to be who they are. That's more important. Thank you so much.
May that power grow, always.
Yes. But you know, like I said, that you've given power to a lot of those people, those voiceless people, to voice out for their own. And because you believe in the power of she, I believe in the power of she. So this is a gift from me.
Oh.
It's to that power of she that you represent and the power of she in your life.
Ore Shavash. Thank you so much, sweetheart. First, this wonderful interview, this lovely conversation, and then you get me a gift also.
You should see what it is.
He really does embarrass his guests. What? Can we open it?
Yeah, of course. It's a...
Oh, I thought I saw that. Oh my God. Look.
It's actually a miniature version of all of you.
I love you, yeah. My God, my ma is going to be thrilled. She gets the biggest picture. I love you, yeah. Oh God, look at this.
Alisah has you also.
Look. This is so special. I promise you, I'm going to cherish it and forever keep it as a memory of someone who celebrates not just she, who celebrates
being you.
Being a human being. That is so wonderful. I love you. Can I give you a hug?
Please, please. I would never. You're the best.
Hi, this is Sushmita Sen and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble with this very handsome boy.